Today on the Biz Talk, we are going to discuss a super important topic, which is growing your salon business. We've got an awesome couple that we're going to call on this episode who is going through this issue right now, like severe salon growth. We're going to tackle all the topics and issues right now on the Biz Talk. Tracey, it's been a while. That was weird.
I just looking at the camera, I feel like totally like.
No, your eyes literally went across. That was a little strange.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you got Gio over there looking like tripping, like, what is Tracey going to faint? So you have to call the doctor. Let's all antics aside because it's serious time now.
That's not possible here.
It's actually true. It's not very possible here at Young Nails. It gets a little insane. We're going to talk about something that is kind of on the serious side, which is growing your salon business.
Yeah.
I know one thing for sure, growing a business, it is so difficult. Like people,
how would you know?
How would I know?
Yeah.
I heard from a little rabbit in the corner over there. There he goes. Growing a salon business. I'm excited. We're going to talk to Evee and Shawn right now. We actually met them at the Orlando show a year ago.
Very nice couple.
Such a nice couple. What's interesting is that Shawn has been talking about getting in the nail business, like not on the back end, which he's been doing, like helping to run it, but actually doing nails.
But he's been talking about that for a while.
I know. It's been like a year. What's up? And I saw him just a couple weeks ago at the show, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still thinking about it." I'm like, "Dude, you got to jump in."
It would be over with by now. We would not be having this discussion.
Well, think about this. Like, their business is growing right now, right?
Which is awesome.
He gets in the mix, right? A guy in salon. We know what that does.
Oh, it's over. It's all over.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a huge factor in nail. When a guy's doing nails, and we know this obviously because that's our company makeup. Yeah. That can set your salon on fire, but they're already going through fire right now. So I'm super interested to talk to them and hear about their issues.
Really curious what's going on.
I know. Me too. Shall we call?
Yep.
Let's do it. Can you hear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hello,
Evee?
Yes.
How's it going? It's Habib and Tracey from Young Nails. How you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Is Shawn with you by chance?
Yes. I'm here.
What's up, Shawn? How you doing?
What's going on?
I'm assuming you've already started nails in the last 2 weeks since we've last talked.
It's so crazy. He's been so busy, but here shortly I am.
No, okay.
Shortly. This was a year ago. I believe you said the same thing.
Correct.
You know, it's all based on my schedule, which is kind of crazy right now since premiere I've been like back to back busy.
Yeah.
So
You just don't give him excuses. Don't give him excuses.
No. He's got to come forward and own the fact that he hasn't started yet. Okay.
He actually did bring it up. He's like, "Listen, I know you're busy, but you got to teach me how to polish nails or something."
I love it.
Well, let's talk about this. Like a year ago, I know you were getting things going, and since then it has really it's gone out of control. And talk to me about some of the challenges you're having. Like basically what we want to help you with today is this process of growth you're going through right now. So what exact issues or challenges are you having in growing your salon? What's going on?
So I'm actually, I have a couple licenses. I'm a massage therapist, a nail tech, and an esthetician.
Is that all?
So we have a full service, I know. We have a full service spa, basically. So I decided that I wanted to grow my business with nails first and kind of grab people in that aspect because that's what I'm most passionate about.
Cool.
And as they come in, hey, I do massage, I do facials,
right.
Do you need an eyebrow wax? And just trying to grab people in as from nails first and then kind of transitioning them to
different
basically
parts.
We're all in one service.
Totally.
You know?
I like that.
So now, in the last year, we just expanded into a new suite. So we went from about 380 square feet to 850, I think we have now.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah. So we're expanding now more into doing full spa services. But I'm the only nail tech. I'm the only one doing services basically. So my
Wow.
husband wants to kind of jump in and help take over doing some of the nail stuff, so that I can focus more on expanding the other parts of our business.
Okay.
Right.
And you basically doubled your space. So
Yes.
like, so you're in the 800 square feet now, like that's done?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we still need furniture and whatnot, but the space is open and usable.
Okay. So are you utilizing all that space right now?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, it's only me. So, if I'm doing nails, I'm in the nail room. If I'm doing a wax, I'm in the wax room. But we have separate spaces for me to be able to do those services.
And do you
Okay.
plan on bringing other people in, or will it just be the two of you?
No, I definitely want to bring somebody in. But right now, that's
kind of where the challenge is. Like bringing someone in, especially since our salon isn't as a walk-in salon, it's appointment only. So we have definitely been struggling with finding or grabbing people that are used to our concept of appointment only. They want to go to a salon where they have the foot traffic. And it's another reason why it makes me want to get into the nail, because I'm an artist myself in other ways. So, but for me, it's kind of hard because I can't wear nails, so I can't. It's hard. I feel like it'd be harder for me to be like, "Hey, I do nails.
Nope.
Here's my check out my work."
Will not make a difference. Well,
Nope.
it actually, Shawn, it's quite the opposite. Like, and this is just sort of a fact in the nail industry. And Tracey, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the fact that like if you're a male in the nail industry, it just instantly attracts attention. So here's the deal. In my opinion, you need to like all joking aside, you've got to start doing nails as soon as possible, and it's like when I talked to you a year ago, I remember having this conversation with you. It sounded like you were interested in it. If you said to me right now and told Tracey and I, like, look, I have no interest in doing nails, I don't want to do it, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But if you actually have interest, like a genuine interest in it, like you're curious, you're an artist, I mean, especially like going into nail art, that's a huge, huge moneymaker as well. As, Tracey talks about that all the time. You got to start like ASAP. You've got to start relieving that pressure. Trace, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think it's the one of the things where, because we talk about like where you work.
Right.
Women love going to men.
They do.
They just really do. And the fact that you can do her nails, she can be your advertising
Right.
because she's not looking to build any further. So I think it really kind of reminds me of Melissa and Eric, one of our mentors. They're a husband and wife team. And he has taken a lot of her overflow,
Right.
and they just love him. I mean, it's honestly, it's been easier for him than it is for us.
Right.
Because first of all, they know that Melissa's trained him.
Right.
So they're going to know that she's helped you and taught you a lot of that stuff. And you're going to be able to start slowly taking that overflow because they like your environment. They like her work. So they know they're going to love your work, and you're a guy. It's you have a winning ticket there.
And I really love that idea of like, you do her nails. She goes around, even like customers come in and it's like, they see her nails and it's like, Shawn did these. And it's like, whoa, I want to go to Shawn.
Even now, like like when she do her own nails, I kind of design them for her. So I kind of give her things like,
I let him pick the colors and the concept, and I say, look, if it comes out bad, that's on you. So let's do something.
How do you feel about him doing the
like,
nails?
That's kind of what, like a year ago, like you said, when I was kind of on the border.
That's how
But
started.
as we progress as a business and continue to like, I'm more around it than I was a year ago. So now it's just definitely like, I see the artistry in it, and I definitely want to jump into it more now than I've ever had.
What kind of art, remind me, Shawn, what kind of art do you do right now?
I do photography.
Okay, you're a photographer. Perfect. So like you've got an eye for like color looks.
Design.
Yeah,
fashion,
design.
all that kind of thing.
Yeah, man, this is a great transition.
We've actually, like Shawn has a photo project. We've been into magazines, photography magazines that we got published in. And he just gave me the concept, and I did the nails for it. And a lot of the times he'll just say, here are the colors, and you just figure it out, and you know what I need done. And that's kind of how we started building and getting Shawn interested in doing nails, because he would see me working, 2 or 3 hours doing these sets to go with whatever concept he threw at me last minute a lot of the time.
Right.
I see like that creative team.
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
already seeing like
Yep.
him getting into nails and them having like an open gallery night, like where they're like
Yeah.
you have his photography and you're
Yeah.
like we're doing nails designed off of this photography and just like an open house. I think it's
That is I think it's a great idea. Like, you leverage his talent in photography, and obviously now you've got somebody that can shoot all these looks, and that's huge. But outside of that, just like as far as inspiration for nails and looks, you can shoot whatever it is that you shoot currently and bring that into the salon as like inspo for looks and nails. And now you guys are pumping out custom looks inspired by Shawn in photography. And then, obviously you guys work together on this, so it can be inspired by the both of you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's huge and unique. And I love that. It's super special.
and I'm already picturing their Instagram. Like I'm
Oh my God.
already like
Oh my God.
drooling to look
The
at the
biggest part
Instagram
for
of that.
me was, or the scariest part for me is definitely like, how do I, other than like, of course, like Evie, like I'm a straight male in the industry, and like, how do I approach clients to actually give me a try? Because there are far and few in between, like males, especially here in Orlando. I'm sure it's like a couple of us that do nails or whatever. I'm just that's what kind of scares me away.
Yeah.
Just being able to be given that chance to like prove that I can do this.
So I like this. This is sort of my take on this. If you had a business card, I'm not a huge fan of business cards, but for nails, because you need something to drop off, I do like.
Yeah.
But if you get into conversation, you talk to women, you hand them the card, and it's like, what you say is like, because I get that. Like, as a guy, when I talk to a woman about nails, it kind of creeps them out a little bit. They're like, whoa, dude, why are you talking about nails? You know what I'm saying?
Actually, it's not the subject; it's just him.
It's just me. But so I totally get where you're coming from, Shawn, but this is what I would do. I would hand them a card and be like, look, my wife and I have a salon. We both do nails. We both love it. Come in, let us analyze, what you got going on with your nail beds, whatever the line is, you know what I'm saying? But I think you start it with that, my wife and I have a salon, and then it's like that creep factor instantly disappears. It just does. And it's not because of any other reason than you're a guy commenting on somebody's nails. I've actually walked into grocery stores, and I've talked to, somebody that's checking me out. I'm like, wow, I love your ombre glitter gel. And they're like,
I'm just picturing
whoa. You know what I mean? Like and then I have to follow it with, I'm in the nail business. I actually have a nail company. They're like, oh, okay.
Sure.
And then it all
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the pressure, that the weird creepiness like disappears, and then it's like we can actually have a conversation. And then it becomes interesting because they're fascinated with the fact that I know so much about nail, and that's where it happens for you. You know what I mean? So I would start it off like that.
Yeah, I like that, and I think you're not even going to have to do much of that. I just envisioned that really, obviously she's working hard. She's already drawing people in. She's going to start being able to go, you know what? I can't fit you in. However, my husband, he can get you in. And if you know what? And if you decide you want to come to me, because I see Melissa do this all the time.
Totally.
And she's like, however, I'm going to be there. He asks me questions. He gets my opinion. He really has a very similar look to mine. And next time if you want to book your appointment, you can book it with me. And what I've found that listening to Melissa do this, because we travel a lot together, is people are like, oh, okay. And then they're like, you know what? I really like him. I'm just going to stay with him.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And I can tell your husband has the personality. Like he's a talker, and that's what they want.
He's definitely more the people person.
Yeah.
When he used to work at, so before we did this full time, I've been licensed for 4 years, but prior to that, I was working in other people's salon and gaining experience. And my husband was working for a pharmacy, and I would do his nails, just regular manicure, and people would just tell him, wow, your nails are great. And they have no polish on them. It's just
Right.
a really nice, beautiful long nail bed.
Right.
And then he would say, oh, well, you look like you do your nails. My wife does nails. And then it would just go into this whole conversation
Exactly.
of, you have a client this weekend that's coming and I saw her at the pharmacy, you know? So that's kind of how it started with him trying to get me clients since I started working from home at the same time that I was working for other people. So I started in the corner of our studio apartment, and then from there I just moved on to the next place and the next salon and the next experience. And we moved from Orlando to Tampa and stayed there for about a year and a half. And then that's officially where I started my business.
Right.
And then we sold everything and moved back to Orlando and just started doing this full time. So
I love it. And also, like, it sounds like right now you guys aren't short. Like the problem that you're having is handling the growth. The first relief point I see is Shawn.
Yeah.
Like, you've gotta you've really gotta learn nails, and then the next step maybe after that would be to bring somebody else in. I think that's a natural progression, especially if you're interested in it, which means, have you looked at schools?
Yeah.
We actually did go to a couple schools in the area, but you know, everyone here is kind of pushing him to get the same license that I have, which is aesthetics and nails, because you know, financially you can use your Pell Grant, FAFSA, whatever.
Sure.
So nails here in Florida, unfortunately, it's 250 hours, so it's not a lot, which is why classes are super important to me. And one of the reasons why I want to get him started before I get him into school, because once you're in school, I mean, 250 hours is like 3 months. It's nothing. You know,
Right.
you really can't learn too much from there. So I want him to have some kind of basis, but we have a school in mind that we're interested in. But unfortunately, you know, a lot of it comes down to money. It's like $4,000, $5,000 cash.
Right.
You know, you can't use any kind of financial aid for that. So we have to kind of work that into our budgeting, which really got held back once we expanded, but we found kind of the expansion more necessary, because once we expand, you know, if we decide that I want to hire, you know, per se, like a massage therapist to do the spa side while I continue to build the nails, then I can at least make money while I'm not here. You know what I mean?
Of course. And you should still do that as far as like looking for somebody to bring in. I just really like, again, I know Shawn had mentioned he was very interested in nail. And if you are, I would figure out a way to get that done as soon as possible, because, you know, Evie, you don't want to like start, like, it sounds like you're burning the candle pretty hard on both ends. I'm the kind of person myself that I can go and go and go and go. That plus a lot of coffee keeps me going. But like
it's a lot of coffee.
Oh, right. Lots. Oh my God, endless. Like people here will tell you, like, I don't stop. But on a serious note, like, I love that, and I love to go hard, and you know, like a lot of us here do, but maybe you just don't know. Like, I just don't want to see you burn out like in the next 3-4 months.
I'm truly concerned about your burning out, but even more, I'm concerned about the money you're giving away. Like, you guys are missing out on some money right now.
Totally.
And,
huge point.
I hate to see that. You know,
so we actually, you guys are gonna be super surprised, I guess. But we're actually open 7 days a week. I work like 64 hours, and Shawn's here in the salon with me doing the same. So I had to actually bring him in about 6 months ago to help me out, because I could no longer answer the phone and do customer service at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's why he kind of actually like unloaded a lot of the stress and pressure I had, so I could just focus on building our nail business. And then from there, I said, all right, well, I think I'm pretty full with nails. It got to the point where I'm like 2 or 3 weeks booked out with like, you know, 1 or 2 people I could fit in the week that's, you know, brand new people.
Right.
But I do hands and feet, and Shawn really just wants to do hands, which would help out. Even still, you know, he doesn't want to
that's
put
huge.
feet, but
yeah. No. But you got it.
Which
like,
is fine with me.
you got to you need help.
Yeah.
Like, period. You got to get somebody in. If it's not Shawn, like right now, you got to get somebody in there.
Well, and it sounds like
I think I want to definitely get Shawn. I would rather have Shawn. I'm a very strict person. I was in the military before I actually did nails.
It's awesome.
So being in the Army, I kind of have high expectations on, like,
Of course.
you know, like be on time and like things that people aren't typically used to in a
Sure.
salon environment. So Shawn knows how I am, and we work really well together. A lot of people don't even realize we're married. They're like, "Oh, that's your husband at the front desk? I thought that was just some guy you hired." I was like, "No, like we work really well together." So I would rather get
That's
him in
hilarious.
first because he knows the expectations I have for the quality, and
Right.
I don't have to worry about maybe somebody messing up and
Well,
and
just one
kinda
one
doing that,
one
you know?
one thing on that, Evie. This is super important, and I can speak from experience on this. Like, I have gone through. I understand that. Like, I'm a super hardcore, disciplined, insanely hardworking individual, so I get that. And I have super high expectations. But here's the thing: like, you gotta you're gonna go through people. You know, I've hired so many people and fired so many people here at Young Nails. I've gone through so much, and the first thing is, like, nobody's ever going to work as hard as you because you're the owner.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Okay, period. Like, you got to let go of that. But you can find really good people that will, whatever your culture is that you're setting up, you can find good people, but it takes time, because when you interview somebody, you just don't know how that's going to go. You don't know how things are going to go until they start working with you. And then from there, if it's good, it's like, cool, let's keep this going. If it's not, you gotta get them out, and you gotta find somebody that can. It's a numbers game, and it's just volume and numbers.
And what I would say is, don't let that that control, because I owned a salon. I'm very much a control person myself.
Right.
But don't let that control get in the way of you expanding your business. It will. If you can't let go a little bit, then you're getting in your own way.
That's absolutely right. You have to be careful of that. Just be careful of that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's actually funny that you guys said that, because we did have an interview process with somebody who had reached out to us a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super skeptical, but I was like, sure, come on over. You know, we weren't really expecting to hire somebody or whatever. And I guess we just kind of went through the process, and it didn't end up working out as far as, you know, I guess her expectations versus my expectations. And, you know, being appointment only, we don't have the walkthrough traffic. We're actually like in a really obscure area too, which is one of the reasons why we do appointments.
Sure.
So, you know, expectations is kind of what ultimately led to her not working with us or whatever. But we kind of already got a taste of that, and we watched the video that you guys did yesterday, obviously, on the whole culture. And we had this huge conversation about that. And I totally agree. I think that going forward, the next person that we interview or the next people that we interview, it's going to be super important to ask more in-depth questions, which is something that we didn't do, because we don't know. Nobody tells you how to start a business and how to run doors. You know, you have to kind of just experience it.
And just on that, again, this is just from like my experience. Ask all the questions, get as much info as you can. But at the end of the day, and there is nothing more true than this, you don't know how it's going to work until they start. So you can't beat yourself up and say, oh my God, I'm not good at this, or like hiring is a major pain in the butt. Like, it is it's so hard. It's difficult, but it's very recently I came to the realization, you know, that it is a numbers game, and like you hire, and if it doesn't work, you got to let them go. And it's not on me. It's like, okay, I just got to keep going until I find somebody. And now we have like a pretty amazing team, but it's taken time. It's taken time.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that like inspires me the most about like your guys' story, you know, because I'm super afraid of high turnover, which is something that you guys had brought up yesterday as well.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's going to happen. It's kind of almost inevitable. But at this point, you know, people ask me all the time, are you bringing somebody else? Are you bringing somebody else?
Yeah.
You know, are you guys going to, who are you bringing if you bring, are you going to do a nail tech? Are you going to do a massage therapist? What are you guys going to do? Because they know, like, I'm pretty spread out as is, and we're already expanding, you know, into doing more services to provide more options. So it's going to happen within the next 6 months for sure.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, we're hiring somebody here.
Good.
Yeah. And I would say, don't worry about being in this place that there's no walk. I was not. I was actually in an office facility. Like that's where my
That's how we
place was.
started. Yeah.
It wasn't in a place
Like high
where
traffic.
it was very hard for parking. I mean,
Right.
if there was, I think we literally had 2 parking spots were assigned to us, and there was 4 girls in the salon plus their clientele.
Yeah.
So they had to park on the street and find parking. And then it wasn't a walk-in situation, but you will build the name up, and people will find you. You'll find people. Probably what you'll end up finding even more of is people that are established and they're looking for that place where they can go bring their clients and they feel comfortable and it's a great place. And you know, I wouldn't even stress about not being in a correct, you know, in your mind correct place.
We are we've been doing appointment only for the last year and a half or something like that. And what we've kind of noticed is there's people that are totally okay with it. They've been looking for somebody that's appointment only. You know, they want that one-on-one me time. And then you get people that are like, well, this is too difficult for a nail salon. I can't believe I'm doing all this for a nail salon. So then I go into my whole spiel like, well, we understand, you know, we appreciate you contacting us, but we're not just a nail salon. We're a full-service spa. We do require appointments.
Right.
And it's me time. It's one-on-one.
Yep.
And so our clients appreciate that. And if you would like to book an appointment, then this is what we require. You know what I mean? And so we've kind of gotten the good and the bad, but overall, I don't think I don't have anything really too bad to say about being appointment only. I actually prefer it. You know, people know when they come here, they're not waiting for hours to try to get somebody. I'm not rushing them, and they're getting good customer service because Shawn keeps them entertained in the meantime. So
Love it.
That's awesome. I'm super excited for you guys because you're going through growth. Is fun. It's scary, but it's the good kind of problem
scary.
For sure. But it's the good kind of problem that you want. And I would love to check in with you guys, you know, like towards the end of the year, if you guys are cool with that. I want to check in. I want to see, like, this is what I would like to see, sort of a mini checklist is like, by the end of the year, Shawn's licensed, ready to go, or you've got 1 or 2 people that you've hired and brought on in your expansion. I think those are 2 solid goals over the next 6 months that are realistic. I would like to see that happen. And you guys cool with checking in about 6 months?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. Let's do that. I really appreciate you guys coming on and chatting with us today. Like, thank you so much. It was really nice to talk to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. Super excited for them. They're cranking.
Very excited.
That's
I think
hardcore.
it's all there. It's right there for him.
It is. It's right there. I just think he's got to get his license. And I think, or they got to bring somebody in like now.
And I think sometimes, you know, because she's so busy, he feels like he can't step away. But sometimes you have to go, hey, I am costing myself money. It's better for us to bring someone in to answer the phones and spend that money to make money.
Perfect.
In the end.
Absolutely. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What are some tips and tricks you can offer them for those of you that have experienced, you know, this type of growth? And in the hiring process, what have you done that you could share with Evee and Shawn? And with that, say thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on the Biz Talk.